Hi, I'm Karen Bradley. I'm the director of the Schenectady County Public Library System. It's not your typical library today, and welcome. We'd like to fill you in on what have we been up to since the library closed on March 14th. You can see empty computers. We have an empty information desk. People would normally be sitting reading their magazines and newspapers in the library. And we're going to move over to one of the busiest areas of the library, which is our children's room. Since we've been closed, my library staff has been helping out Schenectady County with the COVID response in the public health department and up at the Boys and Girls Club. At the call center, we have been taking calls very much like what we do here at the library, helping county residents in need. I'm proud of the work that we've been doing, but we've also been busy doing other things to prepare for the eventual reopening of the library. So let me take you into our youth services department, and I'm going to introduce you to Kayla Wallman, better known as Miss Kayla, who is our youth services coordinator. And we're going to take you over here. Here's Miss Kayla. Okay. One of the projects we've been working on while we've been shut down, the library has always been a great collaborator with community organizations. While we were closed, we celebrated National Library Week, normally a time of programming in all of our county libraries. So this year we had to figure out what could we do to celebrate National Library Week. So we reached out to some of our community partners, Create Community Studios, and Schenectady Kids Art Fest. And we collaborated on a project called #SchenectadyStrong2020. It's a multi-pronged community art project that can, even though we're apart physically, there's a lot of really fun, creative, and joyous ways people have been using art during this time of confinement. And so we've collaborated on a project that we launched, and we hope to engage other community members, and there's no end to this project. So we want to give the residents a means to share what they've been experiencing, whether it's the highs and the lows, important messages, and such creativity that's been done by our families and community members. We have a form that we use. It's online at our website, and people can either download the form to submit, or they can just submit it online. So we have different means of sharing, from attaching a sheet of paper and either scanning it or mailing it into us. People may photograph something they've created, and they can just submit that digitally to us. And we've created an online gallery of some wonderful pieces of work. We just recently received entries from the Kingsway Nursing Home and the residents there. So we've been trying to reach out. We've sent the art project out in our food bags into the community. We've worked with the Schenectady City School District for their lunch program. And we've reached out to some of our senior facilities. So here are some of the examples of submissions that have been made. And we're proud of the project, and we hope as we reopen that we may have some sort of an art show, not just at the main library, but in the libraries all around the county, to share some of the work that's been created. So now I'd like to turn the program over to Ms. Kayla Wallman, and she's going to tell you about some of the really exciting things. So yes, we've been working at the call center and public health, but librarians have been very busy creating some virtual programming.
Yes.
And Kayla's going to share what they've been up to.
Thank you very much, Karen, and thank you also to the Downtown Schenectady Improvement Corp for the opportunity to show what we've been doing. So there's 4 points that I want to talk about today. The first of those is I want to introduce you all, if you haven't been following our virtual edutainment or our digital programs that the Children's Department has been producing. I want to introduce you to those. I also want to talk about how you can stay connected to the library. I want to talk a little bit about our collections and then just give you a brief introduction to what's going to be happening in the summer. So first, on, I believe it was April 18th, was our first virtual story time that we launched, and we are now in our 4th week. 6 out of the 7 days of the week, we are releasing a new story time. Maybe it's a STEAM activity. There's also Lego challenges and teen programs. So Mondays is for STEAM. Tuesdays and Fridays and Saturdays are the virtual story times. Wednesdays are for Legos, and Thursdays are for teens. Our whole team of youth services librarians has been involved in putting those together. So Miss Julie has been doing some great STEAM programs. We've made bird feeders. We've done marshmallow and spaghetti engineering sculptures. Miss April is doing the Lego challenges, I should say. So maybe you were challenged to build a catapult, or maybe you had to build something blindfolded. So those come out every Wednesday. The virtual story times are done by myself, by Julie, by Miss Stephanie, and by Miss April. And Stephanie is the one that does the teen programs. So on Thursdays, we've done some very interactive teen activities. Crocheting is going up tomorrow. She's done the drawing program, online Scribble. She also did a whole bunch of teen book talks. The way that you find all of these programs is they're all on, this is our library website, and they are all posted on our YouTube channel. So you can click there. I also encourage you to join our SCPL Youth and Families Facebook group. So that we started also since we've shut down. This is the list of activities and programs that are posted on a weekly basis, but we also have lots of information that goes up on that Facebook group. One of my librarians or library assistants, Anne, has been putting some great content on there, great information for parents and engaging with books, some excellent early literacy activities. So I encourage you to join the group and also to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those are the ways that you can find our programs. One other virtual program that I wanted to highlight is Miss Julie did this amazing activity where she actually read a book and modeled reading to your child. We know that when we have story times, lots of times life at home is a lot more chaotic than life in the library, and you can't make it through an entire book with your little one. So Julie did this great how-to read a book to your baby or your toddler. And so that's also on the YouTube channel. So I just wanted to highlight that one in particular because it's something that's different that we hadn't done before. Another thing that's special is one of the favorite programs that I get to do is nighttime story time at Niskayuna. Normally when we're open with Miss Lisa from Miss Lisa's Music Kids, well, Miss Lisa and I did it virtually. We did a nighttime story time. That also is available on the YouTube channel. So a couple of the special things that we're offering or things that we normally do when we're open that we're trying to still do when we're not here in the building. So a way that you can stay connected with our collections. We know that when we're closed, it is so hard you miss the books, like we miss our books, right? Hoopla and Overdrive, those two links right there are for our digital collections. There's ebooks, there's e-audios, there's comic books, there's e-comic books also on Hoopla. There's movies, there's TV shows, there's book movies also. So if you haven't subscribed or haven't logged into either of those, please do. Because there's lots of great ways to interact with our digital collection while you can't interact with our actual print collection. One thing we did do while we were closed is, for those of you that use the libraries, this will be some familiar signage to you. Picture Book City has been at all of the locations except for Central, and we finally got Picture Book City done here at Central. So when you're able to come back into our building, which we can't wait for, you will see these signs for each neighborhood. You'll see these keys, which will tell you if you want a book that's all about maybe a birthday celebration, then you would look for the book that has the red sticker on the spine label there. Concept books are orange, our favorites are yellow, so it's a different categorization system, that we have at the other locations that now finally we have at the Central Library, at the Karen B. Johnson Library also. So that'll be something that you can look forward to when our room is open again. One other note I wanted to make on Hoopla that I almost forgot. Hoopla has extended their bonus borrowers program through the end of this month. So there's about 1,400 items that you can borrow from Hoopla that don't count against the normal borrows that you have. So 1,400 things that you can go in. I saw some Pete the Cat things. I saw a Big Nate ebook in there. So there's lots of great resources for kids that are available on Hoopla through that bonus borrowers program that you can just borrow now through the end of this month, and they're not going to count against your 5-item total. Ways to stay connected to us. So besides joining the group and subscribing to the YouTube channel, we really miss you so much. We miss being able to interact with you. So you can still email a librarian, which is that link right there. Ask us questions that you have about our services. Ask us readers advisory questions. Anything that you would normally ask us when you come into the library, go ahead and email us. We are still able to work from home, and we're still able to answer your questions from home. So librarians are still hard at work. So connect with us that way. And also, I really personally encourage you, when you watch a virtual story time, or if you see a STEAM program, show us what it meant to you, or tell us what it meant to you. Post comments on our Facebook channel, because Facebook channel, I guess, because it really does make a difference. We really miss you so much, and we love hearing from you, seeing maybe the Lego thing that you built or the project that you made that Miss Julie inspired you to make. So share those, because it's really wonderful for us to feel connected still to you, because we do miss you so much. And my last little point about summer reading, that this time of year is when we really start gearing up for summer reading. Normally we're out in the schools promoting it as much as we possibly can. Summer reading is still going to happen this year. Imagine Your Story is the 2020 theme, so we're imagining what summer reading is going to look like this year. It is going to be online. We are still using Beanstack. Our plan is it's going to be read 10 hours, complete 10 activities, 10 plus 10 makes 20, and then you've reached the goal. We're going to have prize raffles every week. You reach the 20, you'll be entered into our grand prize raffle at the end of the summer. So we still are going to be giving out prizes and awarding prizes for summer reading. We want you to keep reading. So thank you very, very much. Like I said, please subscribe to the channel, follow our group, and keep reading.
I know everyone is really looking forward to the day, when will the library be able to reopen? When will we be able to have services? So I would just like to reassure everyone that we have been working in the capital region with other library systems and directors to develop a cohesive plan for a very slow phased reentries into libraries. We're doing a lot of fact-checking as far as the quarantine period. This is something maybe you haven't considered, but libraries across the nation are going to have to quarantine books when they are returned to the library. And that's a system we need to set up. The primary concern is we want to ensure your safety, so when you come in and get a book, that material is safe. So setting up a system for that, it's not an easy task. We are going to be repurposing some of our space. we're going to begin that process here at the Karen B. Johnson Library. So that will be the first phase, setting up systems. And that's what we'll be doing behind the scenes to get ready. The other thing is most of the libraries in the region are looking to develop a curbside pickup service. And so just as our county businesses all had to work hard to establish an efficient curbside pickup service for our restaurants and perhaps some of our shops, we too are working to set up something that will be very efficient and how that's going to work. Not an easy system to set up, but it'll take a lot of people to do that, and we want to set up something. We know you're anxious to get library materials, and so that is definitely one of the things. So libraries initially, we may be here to answer our phones for those information needs. We'll be here to develop and to provide curbside pickup. That's one of our early phases. Libraries then will plan for, based on regional guidelines, I think you've all heard about it in the news, there are regional guidelines. We are in the capital region. As you know, as of today, we are have reached 6 out of the 7 benchmarks. And then within those guidelines, though, each county has metrics that they will measure for our safety. And so our phased plan, which is something we're working hard with our Board of Trustees, I deeply appreciate their efforts to support us. And they have a very basic plan that they're putting forward. Coordination. The library is coordinating with our regional systems so that we are doing all on kind of the same page. Quarantining of materials. That's going to be done the same at every library. If we end up able to borrow something from Saratoga, from Clifton Park, from Amsterdam, they too will have quarantined those books. Also, our county health department. Certainly, as far as Schenectady County goes, we're going to be measured on what's going on within our county. And we will receive guidance from our county manager and public health department. We may have a phase where we step up, and we may have to step back. But we're hoping to establish clear guidelines posted on our website that you'll be able to refer to. So those are things we're having to really, look at cleaning. You know, cleaning of facilities. There's a new standard out there, as you've been doing this in business and in our homes there's a new standard of cleanliness. So we want to make sure when we do open our doors that we have a high cleaning standard. So safe is our second thing. We want our staff to be safe, and we certainly want our residents to feel safe and be safe when they come into the library. So handling of our materials. We will be just having virtual programming. It's hard to imagine. Libraries are the social and recreational and educational gathering place in a community. It's hard for us as professionals to move to a phase that we'll be in for an undetermined amount of time. We won't be that place. We'll be a transactional place. Obviously, we're anxious for people to get in the door, to be able to come to the information desk to get information, to pick a book themselves. That's another phase that we're going to have. So safety is number one. We are going to have to relocate for a period of time. This is especially hard for my youth services staff, that our toys and puzzles and things are going to be put away for a period of time. We want our children to be safe. And so while this is a temporary measure, it's something that is going to be necessary for us to do. And our computer access will be somewhat limited. We're examining different models, whether that might be get an appointment to come and use a computer. We know computers are critical right now. The census is underway. If you haven't taken the census yet and you have computer access, please do so. It's more urgent than ever. We know jobs, critical. Benefits you're signing up for. So we want to make those available on a limited distance phase. Right now, we need to order product. You've seen shields if you've been to the supermarket. There's product that we need to have to ensure staff safety and public. Whether it's marking our floors in a one-way pattern, you're all getting used to this. And then our next phase is going to be just looking at every way. We call it the caring phase. And our library is committed to enriching the lives of our residents. So my professional staff will continue to look to ways that we can do that. And they're very creative. And so we just look forward, tuning in to find out what are ways we can share those creative opportunities with you. And we're looking to things, we're fine free right now. So anything you have at home is fine free. We know families are going to be struggling when they return about fines on their cards. Accessibility is really important. With children out of school and many people confined to home, we need to look at what are the barriers to the services we're going to be able to. So we are going to have to make some accommodations and really look at things in a new and different way. And so looking for those, what can we, basic things we can do during this time. This will be a very slow, phased approach. It's going to begin here at the main library. We're going to work with our trustees and develop a slow phased rollout. Every business, every employer is now looking, do they have a diminished workforce? Is everyone going to come back to work under these, the new land? Children are out of daycare, they're out of school. People have compromised systems. So we're having to evaluate what are we going to be able to do as we move into the next phase. So there's much work to be done. Our Board of Trustees will be working closely with administration on developing a phased plan that will clearly be spelled out. It'll be posted online, and it's very important for you to know at some point, based on either state or county guidelines, we may have to periodically take a step down. The main thing is to keep our community safe. And so flexibility is important, and the communication of when we do have to take a step back. Our hope is that our community can slowly inch forward. If people are masked and socially distanced and using common sense, the basic hand washing we've all become accustomed to, those are things, the more we can engage our community with that, then the more readily we're going to be able to slowly move forward. Life as we know it here at the library, it's heartbreaking for us in some ways to look at the way we've done things, but we know that we're going to slowly work toward getting things back. It's not going to be overnight. We appreciate your patience. We appreciate all the support. People have been reaching out to us, and we really do look forward to getting back to connecting with community. Thank you, DSIC, for the opportunity. And as we move towards summer, we'd like to have an opportunity to come back and tell you what it's really going to look like.